judge a book by its cover. But look at this. Look at this. How am I not supposed to be tempted by these book covers? Today we're going to be talking about 5 stunning books that I have in my shelf, but I haven't got into it yet. Yes, I know that's a problem I have. But they're so pretty, I just can't wait to read them. Let's go. First up is Calabasas by R.F. Kuang. This is a signed exclusive edition. Yeah, signed exclusive edition. You have to agree with me that this book is absolutely stunning. Like, with all the books on my shelf, this one is probably the one that's going to win the beauty contest. I was so hyped to read this book because R.F. Kuang's writing, like, it does something to me. Like, she can write about historical fiction, dark academia, fantasy, and all of them would be so addictive, so different, but yet so addictive and so satisfying to read. Like, yeah, who allowed her to be so talented? And the best part of her writing though is the amount of research she does is insane. It may be in the form of small historical details, the politics, the layering of the world. Like, it's so good. It's never random, and hats off to R.F. Kuang for this research. And it doesn't feel like info dumping, you know. Like, she layers it into her world so brilliantly well that by the time you've ended the book, like, you actually feel like, yeah, I've learned something today. Like, whenever I finish one of her books, I'm like, okay, I feel smart. I read a smart book. I actually read Yellow Face recently, and I spoke about it in my September wrap-ups as well. And I loved that book. It's like an insider view of the publishing industry, the racism of it all, the messiness, the plagiarism, everything is there. All the juicy details, and it's so bingeable. It's like I finished it in like 2 sittings. It was one of the cleverest book of the year that I've read so far. So yeah, when I heard she's going to come out with a dark academia book this year, I had to get my hands on it. And I was very lucky because when I went to Waterstones, I just saw that there were only 2 left of the signed exclusive edition, and I just grabbed one. I did not think about it for 1 second. I grabbed it. Yes, I might have fought someone for it as well. I was that desperate. So yeah, this one has been sitting in my shelf for about a month, and yeah, I keep staring at it every time I pass by, and I can't wait to get into it. Very soon, review is going to come up. Next up is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. Look at this book. These splayed dark edges, this moody, dramatic cover. Like, this book has been sitting in my TBR for a very long time, and every time I see this book, I question myself as to why I have not picked it up yet. This is a Romeo and Juliet retelling, but set in the 1920s Shanghai. Imagine it. Who won't be excited by that? Rival gangs, political tension, betrayal, and maybe even a literal monster in the city. This book seems to be a wild ride. And I honestly love a good retelling. Like, I love this fresh spin of already familiar characters. I love to see the author's perspectives on it and how they spin the story, the setting. And you get something which is nostalgic, which is familiar and comforting because you have read it before. But at the same time, it's fresh, it's innovative, and it makes you think, I could never think, like, that be Romeo and Juliet. I've also heard a lot about this book. I've heard the setting is used very well. Like, the setting of Shanghai is almost like a character of its own, and I love the books that does it. I can't wait to be transported. Next up is Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. Again, a splayed book. Oh my god, who doesn't want to own a mystery thriller that looks this gorge? I had to get my hand on this one as soon as I saw it, and whenever I pass my shelves, it looks absolutely stunning. I had read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, maybe 1 or 2 parts of it a while back, and I had thoroughly enjoyed it. I love these amateur sleuth detectives. I used to read a lot of Nancy Drew growing up. Like, I think I almost read like 50-60 Nancy Drews, and then I found the similar vibe with Stevie in the Truly Devious series, but I felt like that series kind of faltered by the end. But yeah, that was also promising, and I feel now Pip has joined this club, and I love this club. Yes, like Pip, she does these outrageous actions that are like highly questionable, and you're like, oh my god, who does that? But even despite that, the book was completely addictive. There was something or the other that was consistently happening in the book, and you were hooked throughout. That's what I want from a solid mystery, and it had delivered. very well. And this book also seems to have a very cool premise. It's about this girl Jet who needs to find her own murderer. Yeah, very interesting to read. I thought the premise was very interesting, and I feel that with Holly Jackson, she writes these fast-paced, good mysteries. She does not put a lot of twists for the sake of it. Like, you're kind of very hooked into the story. You can follow everything through, all the loose ends are tied up. So yeah, I'm really excited to read these. I love a good mystery, and I hope it doesn't disappoint me. Next up is The Language of Dragons by S.F. Williamson. Now, this is a pure cover buy. I knew nothing about this book. I knew nothing about this author. But when I was roaming around in Waterstones, I saw this exclusive edition, and I just look at it. It's so pretty. And when I saw it, I'm like, yeah, it's coming home with me. What do I say? I have a thing or two for pretty books. And then I read the blurb and I was like, this actually sounds pretty interesting as well. London 1923, dragons flying through the skies, protests on the street, a girl casually starts a civil war before midnight. Yes, yes, I do want to read this. I want to know what's going on. And honestly speaking, I have been craving a good fantasy for a long time. And this kind of seems like a book which I can get lost in. I don't actually know a lot about this book or this author, and sometimes, it might work, I just want to dive into this book with zero expectation and see how it goes. I'm pretty excited. And yes, cover. Pretty cover, pretty cover, pretty cover. And the last one is We Love You Buddy. Yes, a signed edition by Mona Wad. So now this one has a bit of a backstory. The moment I heard We Love You Bunny was coming out, I lost my mind. So my husband, he was in a bookstore and he saw this book in the shelf and he knew how much I had loved Bunny, the first part, and he called me immediately like, is part 2 coming out? And like, oh my god, is it out already? And I went spiraling it into hours searching for a signed edition. But little did I know that he would surprise me. He would walk actually to a bookstore to track it down and come home with the signed edition of We Love You Bunny. Mona Wad. And come on, a signed edition of a book that I love? That's called love. Bunny is one of my all-time favorite reads. Like, it's an absolutely unhinged book. It's absurd, it's weird, it's hilarious, it's atmospherical. The writing is just amazing. And when I finished Bunny, I absolutely loved every second of it. But as soon as I closed the book and I finished it, I kind of questioned myself, like, why did I love this book so much? It was so weird. And now there's a new Bunny, and it claims to be a prequel, a sequel, and a standalone. Like, of course, why not? It's Bunny. What else do you expect from Mona Wad? From the blurb itself, it kind of feels like it's going to dive back into the weird Bunnyverse, but with new characters, fresh perspectives, and it's going to get even weirder, I think. I have a feeling. I think overall it's going to be hell of a ride, maybe like a psychedelic trip or something, I guess. But I'm really excited to see what has Mona Wad cooked up this time. This is honestly one of my most anticipated reads of the year. I loved Bunny that much and I can't wait to start this book. The moment I got the signed edition, I was so happy. Like, yeah, we love you, Bunny. We love you, Bunny. I love you, Bunny. So my TBR just got aggressively louder. Like, I don't know which one to start with, and that's a really dangerous game. Please help me in the comments below. Otherwise, I might just start with all 5 of them at once. And also, if you are a book lover enthusiasm, stay with me. Bye bye. Good night. Shubh Ratri. Take care.